Hi, and welcome to the Big Impacts Podcast. Today we'll be discussing The Way of Kings, a book I have definitely not read, and I don't know who made it. This is Brian. He's a professional today. This is Michael, and we have Aaron behind the camera. All right, let's get started.
So, The Way of Kings is the first book in the Stormlight Archives, which is the current main series written by author Brandon Sanderson, previously known for book series like Mistborn and finishing The Wheel of Time. It's a fantasy novel a la your classic ones like Lord of the Rings, Narnia kind of stuff. Sanderson first rose to prominence in late 2007 when Harriet McDougall, the wife and editor of author Robert Jordan, chose Sanderson to complete the final books in the epic fantasy series, The Wheel of Time.
Did it like affect other books, or is it just kind of its own thing?
It has a bit of an effect on other books because Sanderson has been claimed as one of the best fantasy writers in world building and character arcs currently writing.
So he revolutionized or he impacted the fantasy genre in a big way. So
yeah.
What's the story about? What's it like?
Currently, there's only 4 books out of currently planning 10 of them, so the story is only really
40% done.
Not even 40% done. Each book is 1,000 pages long. But The Way of Kings jumps between a couple main viewpoints. The main 2 early on being Shalyn, which is this chick from a noble family who's trying to adventure, finding this disgraced princess or queen or whatever to teach her how to make her family not stupid and poor.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kaladin, which is your main protagonist, who starts the book off as a slave. And the first book is kind of about him doing that shit and becoming not a slave. The Way of Kings has achieved a lot of big awards, critical acclaim, and awards specifically for Best Novel of the Year and Best Speculative Fiction by the Whitney Awards, and then also Best Fantasy Novel from the Goodreads Choice Awards. So it's have you yourself ever read
like I said, I'm more into nonfiction. I just got done reading Unbroken.
I know you don't read.
Yeah, I don't read books.
He reads children's books.
Not even that. Next!
Alright. You say you're interested in history books. Do you know that Lord of the Rings actually originally was partially inspired by Tolkien's experience in World War I?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just think that because I like learning stuff, and I feel fiction really can bore me. The last fiction I've read was in 6th grade.
We're comparing it. There's not really a big evil in The Way of Kings, for at least what I've read so far. You know how Voldemort and
Let's get on topic.
Yeah.
He's on top.
I mean,
he's making a reference,
I'm making
Michael.
comparisons.
I mean, I know, but we gotta.
You know what a comparison is, right,
I know,
Michael?
You know what referencing is?
You know what
I
reference
know.
is, Michael?
Hold up. Well, I'm gonna.
God fucking damn it, Michael, shut up!
Well, that's unusable, Michael.
Do you see anybody else complaining? Do you? I don't think so. Calm your boobs.
You know how a lot of fantasy novels tend to have that flowery, overly descriptive kind of language to them?
Yeah.
A big controversy with Way of Kings is Sanderson is very blunt in his writing.
Why? Can you tell me why that's a bad thing?
It's more so it's just not the norm.
So it's just different, and people don't like that.
Right.
People don't like.
If it's a very blunt, to the point, straight descriptors and moving on, and not
Wouldn't that get boring
detailed.
though? Wouldn't that get boring if you're just going they did this and then they moved on to this and is that how it goes or can you explain
No,
it
it's
further?
more you know how when describing a character, say in Harry Potter, there's a fucking page of just describing how her dress flows while she's walking through a scene or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, but where a book like that is kind of the norm for a lot of these big fantasy series, a lot of Sanderson's work would just say she walked through the hallway, her dress flowed in the wind, and then move on.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It doesn't have a lot of those minor, overly detailed descriptions.
I mean, especially if you're doing a lot of world building, because you're replacing overly descriptive with a lot of world building.
Right.
So I can see.
Do you want to finish this or not?
Wrap it up.
Then shut up! Thank you for listening to the Big Impacts Podcast. just start fucking tweaking. I need drugs.